It feels like ages have passed since we would venture into a local DVD rental store to fetch the latest Hollywood release that would satisfy our appetite for visual entertainment. Now we have pay TV and video-on-demand online streaming services via OTT platforms. COVID-19 has only further increased the popularity of these platforms, with people around the globe flocking to the likes of Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, Hotstar, HBO, and Disney Plus for entertainment during the lockdowns. COVID or no COVID, the masses are hooked, and the OTT trend is hot and becoming mainstream even in poor countries. I mean, who doesn't like to conveniently hit play, pause, and resume watching all without commercials? Netflix was and still is the king of the OTT jungle. It is the #1 global OTT platform. It has expanded to become available in almost every corner of the planet. However, recent numbers from India are signaling that Netflix is in trouble and struggling to compete in an ever-growing market. So why is Netflix struggling in India? And is that a sign that the streaming firm is in trouble? Welcome to World Econ News, your daily dose of economics and finance. If you are interested in topics influencing the world economies and global financial flows, this is the place for you. Watch till the end if you want to get the latest on everything. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification button to get the latest updates. Let's go. Netflix has an interesting history. It started in 1997 as a DVD rental by mail firm. It had a very tough beginning and struggled to generate any profits. In 2007, it began streaming in the US, and internationally in 2010. Its first original series debuted in 2013. It wasn't until 2016 that Netflix became a true global leader in streaming entertainment after it began globally targeting affluent customers with international credit cards and smartphones. Technically speaking, Netflix is available virtually everywhere, except in China. When Netflix invaded the Indian markets in 2016, it had high hopes, but now it is being hammered by the competition. India has a population of nearly 1.4 billion people, with the middle class accounting for about 30% of the population. Even during the COVID-19 crisis, India recorded a very decent economic growth of about 8% annually. Global corporations view India as one of the key markets from where future growth is likely to emerge. Numerous international corporations are competing to get a strong foothold in India. However, India's long, complex history, numerous languages, and unique, diverse culture and traditions, and the fact that it is an extremely segregated economy that is divided between rural and urban areas, proved to be a rather difficult market to penetrate. The local competitors are also becoming increasingly strong. Netflix was launched in India in January 2016. Yet after more than 6 years of streaming, it is a distant third in the country. According to the research firm Media Partners Asia, Netflix has around 5.5 million subscribers in India. In comparison, Amazon's Prime Video has 22 million, and Disney's Hotstar has 46 million subscribers. The fact remains, Netflix is the #1 global on-demand streaming service provider, yet it is struggling to gain numbers in the hot Indian market. This led its CEO Rod Hastings to express frustration over the company's lack of success in the Indian market. He said, "In every single other major market, we have got the flywheel spinning. The thing that frustrates us is, why haven't we been as successful in India? But we are leaning in there." According to experts, several factors are behind Netflix's failures in India. For example, Netflix, like many other international corporations, failed to grasp the fact that India has no national language as per the constitution, but has Hindi and English as the official languages. According to statistics, nearly 650 million Indians have Hindi as a second or third language, or do not speak it altogether. There is also the fact that nearly 100 million Indians live in extreme poverty, and 300 million more are somewhat poor. The failure of Netflix to maneuver wisely around India's languages, culture, competitors, and income problems are the main factors why it's failing there. Since its early days in India, Netflix has been focusing on Bollywood. It realized the value of the regional market very late. Meanwhile, other OTT platforms came to know the importance of the regional market long ago and are catering predominantly to those languages. Analysts often argue that Netflix has yet to get its content strategy for India right. According to data by India's leading media consulting firm Ormax Media, of the top 15 series on subscription-driven streaming video brands, only one is from Netflix. Of the top 100 theatrical films based on domestic box office in the Hindi language since 2018, Amazon Prime Video bought 48, while Netflix picked up only 20. The issue of price wars has also hit Netflix very hard. However, it recently slashed prices in India by up to 60% across plans as it tries to catch up with its rivals. It is also planning to invest more heavily in Indian content. Greg Peters, chief product officer of Netflix, said regarding the price wars, "We felt it was the right time to decrease our prices, to increase accessibility to all of those incremental value or features that we have been trying to deliver to the market to more Indian consumers." However, content is still king, and experts say Netflix will have to change its positioning and image of being global or international and bring in regional content. According to analysts at Elara Capital, Netflix's idea is first to probably cut pricing in India and then figure out content. A sizable portion of the country speaks Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Bengali, and other regional languages. Making content tailored for them is unavoidable in a market like India. According to a report by the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, it is estimated that the share of regional language consumption on OTT platforms will cross 50% of total time spent by 2025. This means the OTT platform with more content in a variety of local languages will capitalize on the Indian market. By the way, I forgot to explain what OTT stands for. It's short for over the top. OTT services refer to any type of video or streaming media that provides viewers access to movies or TV shows by sending the media directly through the internet. Another major issue that Netflix hasn't quite addressed yet, at least on a large scale, is the issue of sports. In India, Disney's Hotstar is the king of sports content. A very high percentage of Hotstar subscribers are driven by sports, especially cricket. According to Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos, "Our fundamental product is on-demand and ad-free, and sports tends to be live and packed with advertising. Some experts predict that Netflix will have to find a solution and get into the live sports streaming business more aggressively, or it will suffer further setbacks, not just in India, but also globally. As of right now, it's safe to assume that Netflix will continue to lag in India, at least in terms of sports-focused subscribers." There's also the elephant in the room that Netflix has not addressed: the issue of revenue streams. Unlike most of its competitors, Netflix does not have alternative revenue streams. It is competing with powerful, well-established conglomerates that have alternate revenue streams that enable them to endlessly fund a loss-making streaming entity. Hotstar is owned by the giant Disney. Amazon is a massive giant in everything. Z5 is currently merging with Sony. Apple TV Plus is backed by Apple. Meanwhile, Netflix is just Netflix. It has no alternative sources to compensate for financial weaknesses. This fact is already causing a headache for Netflix, which as of recently is suffering from debt problems because it will have to take up more debt to compete with the new players in the market. More debt just to compete can be dangerous in the long term. Such heavy debts can land Netflix in dangerous waters where the sharks such as Apple, Google, Microsoft, and Facebook are lurking and waiting to grab a new prize like Netflix. Netflix might be the streaming giant of the world, but the competition in India and globally is heating up among the old and new OTT platforms. The picture is looking bleak for Netflix because its competitors are owned by super rich conglomerates with numerous sources of revenue and a strong appetite for domination of the global OTT market. Netflix is at a crossroads. It has two options. It either merges with a tech giant or finds a way to raise raise more money to invest heavily in localized content and live sports on a global level. Would you like to learn more about what influences the world economies and global financial flows? Click on one of the videos that showed up on the left or go to our channel to find other interesting topics.